Hi everyone, to another episode of Dimitra's Dishes. Today, I'm so excited to share this cookie recipe with you. I did it a long time ago and I felt like it needed a little bit of a refresh. I'm making Seker Pare. These are delicious cookies. They're Semolina cookies that are made in Greece and in Turkey. As you know, we share a lot of recipes between the two countries. They're so good. They are soft and moist on the bottom because there's a syrup that's poured over them, but that syrup doesn't cover the whole cookie, so the top is still kind of crispy and crumbly. There's an almond in them. They're so good, perfectly with a hot cup of coffee. Let me show you how I make them. Okay, we're going to begin with 5 ounces or 140 grams of unsalted butter that's nice and soft. It's going to go in the mixing bowl over here with 1 cup or 130 grams of confectioner sugar. We're going to beat that on low speed first and then on high speed until it's nice and fluffy. And then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and 1 teaspoon of almond extract. Beat that all together, and then we'll add 2 eggs that are at room temperature. A quick trick to get eggs at room temperature if you forgot to take them out of the fridge is to just put them in a bowl of warm water and just switch out that water 2 or 3 times until the eggs are no longer cold. So we're going to add the eggs in at this point, beat them until everything is incorporated, scrape down the sides of the bowl so that way everything is incorporated evenly. And now we're going to move on with the dry ingredients. So in my bowl over here, I already have 2 cups or 300 grams of all-purpose flour, half a teaspoon of baking powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. To that, I'm going to add half a cup or 100 grams of finely ground semolina flour and just whisk that all together. This is going to go 1 cup at a time into the mixer, and we're just going to beat it just until everything is incorporated. Try not to overbeat the dough, otherwise you're going to get hard cookies. As soon as everything is incorporated and a dough is formed, it's going to feel a little bit sticky at first, but as it sits, it's going to be very easy to work with. So we're just going to let the dough sit for about 10 minutes while we prepare the almonds. You're going to need between 24 to 30 whole almonds for this. I like to peel the skins off. The easiest way to do that is to soak the almonds overnight in a bowl of water. If you don't have time or if you forgot, you can pour some boiling hot water over the almonds and let them sit for about 5 minutes. And once the water is cool enough to handle, you can just take the almonds out and the skin will just pop right off and you'll just have the almond ready to use. So now we're just going to form the cookies. I have a baking tray here that's lined with parchment paper, and then you can roll these by hand into walnut-sized pieces, or if you have a mini ice cream scoop like this, you can do that so that way you can get even-sized cookies. You're going to take a little scoop at a time, carefully roll it in your hand into a little ball, and then place them on the baking tray until all of the dough is finished. Next, I'm just going to press the cookies down a little bit to make a little indentation with my fingertip, and then the almond slices that we've prepared are going to go on the center of the cookies. You can press them in a little bit more just to make sure they stay in place. Leave some room in between each cookie because they are going to rise a little bit while baking. The oven is preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. These are going to bake on the center rack for about 30 minutes or until they're golden all around. While the cookies are baking, we're going to prepare the syrup. We want the syrup to stay warm. That's why we didn't make it in the beginning like we usually do when we're making a syrup-based dessert. In this case, just like mela macarona, the syrup has to stay warm. So we're going to add 2 cups or 400 grams of granulated sugar to a little saucepan with 2 cups of water. You can add flavorings to this like lemon peel or orange peel. If you like rosewater, you can add that, or orange blossom water. A tablespoon of either one of them will be really nice and refreshing and just aromatic. But I'm just leaving it plain because once everything boils and the sugar has dissolved, I'll turn the heat off and stir in 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract. And that's it, the syrup is ready. As soon as the cookies come out of the oven, I'm gonna pour the syrup on top, and then we're gonna have to wait until the syrup is absorbed. The bottom of the cookies are gonna be soft and syrupy and just moist, and the top is gonna be slightly crispy. These are so delicious with some hot coffee. And that's it, the cookies are ready. I really hope you give them a try. They smell so good, they taste so good. These are best served at room temperature or slightly on the cooler side. You shouldn't serve them as soon as they're baked because it does take a little bit of time for that syrup to be absorbed in them. But they're so good with tea or coffee. Definitely share these with some friends. Call some friends over and have these. Let me take a little bite. Oh my goodness. So good. If you love Greek honey cookies, melamakarona, these are similar. Melamakarona are much more syrupy because I do go heavy on the syrup for my recipe. These are a little bit crispier on top, and they taste more like a cake-like cookie. So if you like it at vanille, which is the Greek semolina cake, that's the closest thing that I can describe these to you as. It's kind of like the semolina cake as a cookie. So delicious. You can definitely spice these up with a little bit of mastic gum in there. These don't have the warm spices that melamakarona have, like cinnamon and cloves and stuff like that. They're a little bit lighter, and they would go well with some rosewater infused into the syrup or orange blossom water. I'll definitely put all of those tips on the recipe card on the website, dimitrasdishes.com. I hope you guys give these recipes a try, and always share these, call some friends over, make some coffee, and create some beautiful memories. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I'll see you all next time. Yes, Zest.